Steph Curry released another limited edition pair of sneakers. And as always, when it comes to Steph Curry's shoes, the internet had a field day. Anything besides the Curry 3s and Curry 2s and Curry 1s that you see him wearing on the basketball court, those are fine. Aesthetically, they're fine, right? Anything else has been a complete train wreck. The Curry Under Armour Oxblood Leather, which is an insult to oxen everywhere. Look at these, Francis. Your immediate thoughts?
Oh yeah, I think Mary in Ward 2 in the General Hospital down the street, she needs to return her previous pair of Steph Curry's nurse shoes in return for the new flashy
leather
black
versions.
and white. Those are hideous, simply
I think
put.
they're brown.
Yeah, I just don't even, I can see what they're trying to do. I just don't, I don't like to rag on them.
What are they trying to do?
Trying to do this contrasting color.
This is, look,
two different shades.
I usually hold back. Those are an ugly AS pair of sneakers.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Pretty, man.
Let's go with the Curry reaction to Corey. There's lots of very good answers. First of all, Steph is selling a PT Cruiser for your feet. These are what Darth Vader wears when walking on a treadmill in a hotel gym at 6 a.m. Hungover Darth Vader, trying to work off that was drinking from the night before. Steph dropped some air cockroaches.
Yeah, man, those are minging.
I mean, it is the color of a cockroach. It's literally the color. We'll keep going. Steph Curry's new shoe.
Oh, that gives it a more, like, it's gonna get a red tinge to it, like a burgundy.
It doesn't make it better. Steph Curry's new shoe looks like it's made out of the cover from Ben Franklin's Electricity Journal. George Costanza from Seinfeld is wearing those shoes as a jacket. It's pretty much the same coat. Steph just going to keep dropping sneakers that look like an Oldsmobile armrest. And they continued with the Steph out here really selling the leather seats to an Acura. I mean, there's a lot. And lastly, look at those foot. Look at that. Look at those foot. Look at the bottom.
That's amazing. Yes. That is absolutely
amazing. Do you need a new
amazing.
couch? You can get the Oxblood leather couch.
You think they'll learn the lesson from the first round? Clearly not.
No, here's the crazy thing. I think they sold pretty well because they knew their market was
nurses.
was dads and nurses. I saw somebody wearing them the other day, and here's the funny thing about why part of the reason I hate trends and the other part of the reason why I dislike following fashion trends. Now, for you, it's different because suits in themselves and that type of fashion, it's timeless, and you really can't have enough of them. I understand that to a certain extent. I just don't care. That's just me though. But when it comes to these kind of shoes and fashion like this, what drives me nuts is like if one high-profile athlete outside the NBA wears these, if Leo DiCaprio was wearing these with, let's say, a leather jacket, it would be the hottest selling shoe. It would start to sell because it's almost like a joke in itself. They're so ugly they become fashionable. Russell Westbrook would wear that shoe. He'd rock that shoe. I mean, he has his own shoe, but do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like, you can roast them all you want, and that's what I'm gonna do because I think they look ridiculous, but one person wears them and all of a sudden people start wearing them like crazy.
Put a couple of holes on those bad boys and run them through Yeezy Season 3 and I'm sure they will sell like hot
I actually don't mind the Yeezys. I think they look ridiculous.
No, I like Yeezy shoes, but there are some of them that are just absolutely catastrophic. Yes. I love the more traditional white sole with that kind of black-white netted look. Those are great shoes. I like them a lot. You know my thoughts on basketball shoes. I've never been a huge fan of them, especially when worn with casual attire. So I'm biased in that point of view. I love KD's shoes. I think if I was to wear a pair of shoes, like I could wear his shoes to the gym. There was a guy that came in the other day and he had a pair of, I think they were customized KD shoes. I think they were like white and with a little green in them. I was like, those are badass shoes. I like them.
KD's those are good looking shoes.
So yeah, I'm biased for that opinion, but I understand that more often than not, basketball shoes are out there to appeal to what that kind of player appeals to, and I don't think that stands for Steph Curry. That's just my opinion.
I think it stands exactly for Steph Curry. This is the guy who goes to Del Curry's house, his dad, to watch golf.
Yeah, well, that's why the nurse shoes are fine, but these are kind of like a more like you're right. Westbrook could probably wear a pair of these, and you'd be like, ah, he's kind of trying to style at least, but I don't like them that much. But whereas LeBron's shoes, they're just like massive,
they're tanks,
powerful shoes that you could probably put a couple of cannons on each side and just roll them right through and they would just destroy people. KD's shoes are a little bit more slender. They're kind of
has an alien foot.
Yeah.
You put on his shoes and it suffocates. Maybe I have a fat foot, but it suffocates.
They're like thin.
What is this?
Yeah.
What's all this?
You just be like feeding. You just out there petting a dog or something.
No, it's not a dog hair.
Plant hair. Were you doing your usual Jason Rubin on the phone?
No, that's afternoon.
You might have walked through some
That's afternoon, Jason Rubin on the phone. Lastly, by the way, Francis, I do have to get to one very quick story about how Steph Curry's ankles were blessed by the church.
Oh, please.
No,
enlighten me.
I'm not the most religious person in the world. However, I want to go to this church to see if they can work on my jump shot because I need it blessed like this. So here's a story from Deadspin, and it was picked up, and it's also part of Mark Thompson's new book on Steph Curry, the miraculous rise of Steph Curry. It has to do with in 2012-2013 season when Steph Curry was doing not so great because of injuries.
Yeah.
He constantly had ankles being turned, ankles being broken, and there was a point where we all thought Steph Curry was just going to be a big bust. Obviously, you turned that around because of this, of course. So here's the excerpt from the book about how Mark Jackson's church.
From the book? Is it from the Bible?
It's from the book. It's from the Holy Book.
It's from the good book. Let's take a look.
From the good book. Now we can go to the quote. So where are you going? Desiree asked, and that Desiree is the wife of Mark Jackson, who's a pastor at the church. Asked the star point guard in front of the congregation, Curry responded with his go-to look of bewilderment, a half smile and widened eyes. He thought he was supposed to return back among the flock when she was done. It took Curry a second to understand what she meant. Then the old Bible stories rushed to his mind, like when Jesus healed the lame man at the pool of Bethesda. That man had to pick up his mat and walk. If he believed he was healed, he needed to show it. So Curry started shimmying and hopping on his right foot, much to the delight of the congregation. I don't know what else to do. This is after they pretty much put holy water on his feet.
That's pretty, I mean,
you can't make this up.
I quite like that story. I think it's fun. I mean, the thing is, right, we don't want to get into too deep of a conversation about religion, but I did have a similar conversation, not this weekend, but the weekend before.
Were you blessed?
No, we're just talking about people about religion. You know, just having a drink and you're talking, and I was with people that were so against religion because we started with politics, which obviously I am,
right,
despite the fact that it's
politics
still
to religion.
Yeah, and they often cross over because that whole myth about separation of church and state. But I was like, I don't believe in religion as much, especially with some of my closest family members, but I stand by their right to believe in it as long as they don't impose it on me or any other people. But what I actually find out quite a lot is a lot of things, it's more like a mental understanding of how powerful your mind can be when you're believing something. And I think that a lot of people use religion to cope and to overcome. And I think that this is part of something, without going so deep, is like maybe he was going through that the rehab of his foot, but he wasn't really sure if he could get there. And then the kind of overpowering belief made him think that he could.
You're right about that, because it makes sense in Curry's case, who is a very religious person.
Yeah.
So is Del Curry. I mean, Mark Jackson is too. He's a pastor at that church. Mark Jackson is ex-coach, pastor at that church. So it makes sense. I mean, look, that's how I've always been about religion, man. If you believe in it and it helps you get through certain parts of your life,
that's it.
Absolutely. Don't let me tell you anything otherwise. As for myself, I'm a Jew and I like the food. That's about it. Comment below, like, favorite, and subscribe. And let's all go to the healing church of Stephen Curry with our oxblood leather shoes.
I need a jump shot.
And get a jump shot.